What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got what happened to the wide receivers drafted after Ja'Marr Chase. Let's check this out.
Chase was picked by the Bengals.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Ja'Marr Chase is still elite, bro, but
he helped lead the
I think he's just too in his head right now, bro. You know what I'm saying about the whole contract situation, bro. Just got clamped back-to-back weeks,
NFL draft, and we'll see.
And he's just a diva right now, man. He just got to get out of his own head.
Second wide receiver taken,
Jalen Waddle. Roll Tide. You feel me?
2021 NFL Draft. The Miami Dolphins select Jalen Waddle, wide receiver.
What was that? Alabama Demon.
Wide receiver taken after Chase in the 2020
him and Schmitty.
Waddle came out of Alabama where he was blazing fast. His speed was what got him drafted so high. As a rookie, Waddle had 104 receptions for 1,015 yards and 6 touchdowns.
He's had problems with injuries too.
He led the NFL in yards per reception with 18.1. His yards went up to 1,356 and 8 touchdowns. He reached 1,000 again in 2023, despite missing 3 games due to injury. This was a very great pick for the Miami Dolphins. Waddle signed a 3-year extension worthy of $84 million.
Very much deserved.
Dolphins. Overall, Waddle has been a great wide receiver too, next to Tyreek Hill, and could be a 1 on many other teams.
Right.
Third receiver taken,
Schmitty. I wanted my Ravens to draft him that year, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
The Philadelphia Eagles select Devontae Smith,
especially after him almost having over 2,000 yards receiving, bro. Won the Heisman as well.
Taken after Chase by the Eagles. He went to Alabama and became the first wide receiver to win the Heisman since 1991. In his senior year, he put up 121 receptions for an insane 1,862 yards and 24
He was
touchdowns.
cooking Ohio State in the natty, bro, before he got hurt.
Slender build, weighing just 170 pounds.
The Slim Reaper.
Scare away any teams as he was drafted 12th overall. Devonta Smith has put up very good numbers with 2 1,000.
And he stayed healthy for the most part too, being that he's so skinny, you feel me?
Smith signed a 3-year extension worth $75 million to stay with the team. Fourth receiver taken.
Yep, Kadarius Toney, big bust, bro. Only the Giants, gang.
The New York Giants select Kadarius Toney, wide receiver, Florida.
Kadarius Toney.
I love how nobody popped for that, gang.
Back in the first round. He was seen as a shifty weapon out of Florida. He posted 984 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns as a senior. Before his senior year, he was barely used as a wide receiver. Toney was used to get rushing yards too. Toney showed some flashes with the Giants.
He would have been better off being a running back, but they already had Saquon, so I don't know. Maybe the Chiefs should have used him as a running back before cutting him, because right now they could use him because of Pacheco being hurt.
Ultimately, he did have a big punt return in the Super Bowl.
Okay, this nigga can't catch for shit. Handmade of bricks.
Cut by the Chiefs, and we'll see if any team.
Like, and how the fuck we let this nigga have 2 free rings, bro? Bait. Like, bro, the problem with him, bro, Bateman is just so inconsistent, gang. You know what I'm saying? He'll get open at times, but like Lamar doesn't have enough time to find him because of our offensive line being so shitty. But bro, when he does get open, it's either he drops it or he catches it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a little iffy with Bateman. I'm starting to lose a little bit of faith in him, but if he can get his shit together, then, you know, because like we just re-signed him too. I like a 3-year deal or some shit.
The Baltimore Ravens select Rashad Bateman, wide receiver, Minnesota.
Rashad Bateman was drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. His best collegiate season at Minnesota was his sophomore year. He caught 60 receptions for 1,219 yards and 11 touchdowns. In the NFL,
great route runner, you know what I'm saying?
Ravens yet.
Injuries have been his problem in his career so far, but he's been able to stay healthy this year. But like, it's just been inconsistent, man.
He did sign a 2-year extension.
2 years, it was 2 years.
Maybe he'll be involved more this season. Sixth receiver taken.
Elijah Moore.
New York Jets select future Pro Bowler Elijah Moore.
Bro, this nigga.
By the Jets in the
Elijah Moore is not a Pro Bowler, buddy.
Fast 40 time at 4.35. He is mainly a slot receiver due to his small frame. He hasn't really been good in the NFL as of yet. After 2 mediocre seasons with the Jets, he was traded to the Cleveland Browns. He had the most receiving yards in 2023 with the Browns with 640 yards. He still has some potential, and we'll see how his career plays out. Seventh receiver taken.
Rondell Moore. I think he's out for the season with an injury, right?
Second round by the Arizona Cardinals. He was a small, shifty wide receiver.
'Cause he's on the
just
Falcons
5'7"
now.
inches tall. He's hard to tackle in the open field and was a touchdown waiting to happen with the ball in his hands. As a
Damn.
freshman at Purdue, he stepped onto the field and had 114 receptions for 1,258 yards and 14 touchdowns. He missed lots of time his following 2 collegiate seasons due to injury. It would be the same story in the NFL, but in 2023, he did play in all 17 games. He ended up getting traded to the Falcons in the 2023 offseason. Unfortunately, he had a season-ending knee injury in practice. 8th receiver taken.
That's tough. Dwayne Eskridge, he's just been a great special teamer.
Next wide receiver
He hasn't
taken
really panned out as a
by
true
the Seattle
receiver, man.
Seahawks. Speed was his #1 trait. He was a star track player in high school, but that
Okay.
didn't matter in the NFL. His pick didn't pan out at all. He's barely played any actual games in the NFL and has barely over 100 yards for his 3-year NFL career. He recently signed with the Miami Dolphins practice squad, and maybe Mike McDaniel, with all that speed on his roster,
they just keep adding speed. God damn. Tutu Atwell was solid.
Was selected
You know,
in the 2nd round by the Rams. He was another one of these
but he's
small,
just-
shifty, quick wide receivers coming out.
He's inconsistent as well.
A jet sweep guy. He was too small to be used in any other role.
He had a great breakout year in 2023.
In 2021 as a rookie. He has had some bright spots, but hasn't really flashed much throughout his career so far. 10th receiver taken.
Terrace Marshall, he was a demon at
Terrace
LSU.
Marshall was the next receiver taken by the Panthers. He was more of a big body receiver at 6'2" and 205 pounds. His best ability was scoring touchdowns. He had 23 touchdowns in his last 2 seasons at LSU. With the Carolina Panthers, he hasn't been very productive scoring.
I mean, he's
Just
on the
1
Panthers. What do you
touchdown in
expect?
seasons. Maybe he needs a fresh start somewhere, or this new Carolina coaching regime utilizes him more. 11th receiver taken.
Josh Palmer. Now, Josh Palmer, when he is on the field, bro, he is a solid, you know what I'm saying, weapon and shit, especially when the Chargers had Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Whenever they went down with injury, he stepped up and became the true #1.
Selected by the Chargers in the 3rd round.
I fuck with Josh
His
Palmer.
best
He's a
season
nice
was
receiver.
769 receiving yards in 2022. He was mostly the wide receiver behind elite guys like Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. In 2024, he's slated to be wide receiver 1, a weak receiver room in LA. 12th receiver taken.
De'Ami Brown.
De'Ami
Brown solid
selected by
too.
Washington in the 3rd round.
He's gonna have to step up this year with them
Success in the
trading
NFL up to
Jahan
this point.
Dotson.
He was supposed to be a good deep threat in the league. Now the Washington Commanders have traded away Jahan Dotson, so Brown might be in for a bigger workload with his new coaching staff in 2024. 13th receiver taken.
Amari Rodgers. Wasn't he in the UFL last year
Amari Rodgers
with my
was selected
Stallions?
in the 3rd round by the Green Bay Packers. Coming out of Clemson, he was touted as a slot wide receiver who could also return punts. He stayed with the team for a season before being released and getting picked up by the Texans. Today, he's out of the NFL and plays in the UFL. 14th receiver taken.
Nico. Yeah, Nico's a
Nico
baller,
was
bro.
drafted by the Houston Texans in the 3rd round. Nico is a big body 6'4" wide receiver coming into the draft.
Damn, he's
His strengths were his
6'4".
strong hands and large frame, but his first 2 seasons in the league were nothing to brag about. In his 3rd season, with new quarterback CJ Stroud, he could
Hitting the
break out.
squabble.
In 2023, he went for 80 receptions for 1,297 yards and 8 touchdowns. Nico Collins signed a 3-year contract extension worth $72.5 million to stay with the Texans. We'll see if he keeps up that production with the addition.
He
of
has so
Stephon
far.
Diggs
He's been
to
great.
Houston. 15th receiver taken.
Anthony Schwartz. I think he's on the
Anthony
Dolphins
Schwartz
now,
was
right?
drafted in the 3rd round by the Cleveland
He's another one of those
Browns. He's known for
speedsters.
his blazing speed. He was so fast and great in track that he won the Gatorade National Boys Track and Field Athlete of the Year award in 2018. However, in the NFL, he hasn't really had much of a role. He didn't play in the 2023 season at all, but he did get signed to the Miami Dolphins. They would have had some all-class speed this season, but Anthony got injured in the preseason and is now placed on the injured reserve list.
Damn.
16th receiver taken.
Dez Fitzpatrick.
Dez Fitzpatrick was drafted by the Tennessee Titans in the 4th round. Dez's best trait was his ability to box out defenders to catch balls over them. In his college career, he never had bad stats, nor did he ever have a true breakout season. He hasn't really played much in his career so far. Today, he finds himself on the Pittsburgh Steelers. 17th receiver taken.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
And he
was
remembers
drafted in the
every
4th round
single
by the
receiver
Detroit
taken in
Lions.
front of him.
Coming out of USC, it was surprising he fell all the way to the 4th round. His numbers did go down in his junior year compared to his sophomore season. To be fair, his junior year was cut short. His 2019 film would show him being a 1st round pick. His slow 40 time of 4.61 might have scared teams away. He was
4'6".
still a solid athlete, having
Yeah,
had 30
he's one of those
attempts
receivers that doesn't have 40 speed, you know what I'm saying, track speed and shit, but he's got game time speed.
As a rookie, he caught 90
You're starting to see that a
receptions,
lot with these
912 yards,
receivers
and 5
nowadays.
touchdowns. His numbers would increase every season in the NFL. He'd go for 106 receptions for 1,160.
And last year, he had a huge breakout year.
Recently, in 2023, he would truly break out as an elite wide receiver, going for 119 receptions for 1,515 yards
1,500.
and 10 touchdowns. He was selected as a first-team All-Pro. He also signed for a 4-year, $120 million.
I don't know how he was
extension
snubbed from
to
the
stay
Pro
with the
Bowl, though.
Lions. After this wide receiver pick, the rest of them aren't noteworthy to list. First wide receiver
That's
taken.
crazy.
The fifth pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Jamar Chase, wide receiver, LSU.
Jamar Chase was selected by the Cincinnati Bengals with the 5th overall pick. This meant that him and Joe Burrow would team up once again like they did at LSU. At LSU, they won a national championship together. In that season,
LSU ain't been the same since them boys left, man.
Receptions for 1,785
Oh,
yards
damn.
and 20 touchdowns. This was during his sophomore season in 2019.
Yeah, and then he skipped his
Opted
junior
out of the
year.
2020 college football season
'Cause of
to focus
COVID.
on the draft. Chase,
Yeah.
only playing 2 years in college, didn't scare any team away from his all-world talent. As a rookie, he took the league by storm with 81 receptions for 1,455 yards and 13 touchdowns. In Chase's first playoff game ever against the Raiders, he went for 9 catches for 116 yards.
Yeah, this nigga was
In the divisional round
unguardable
against
his
the
rookie
Titans,
year,
another
bro.
100-yard game. They would make it all the way to the Super Bowl, where they would lose a close one to the Rams. In the 2022 season, Chase would miss 4 games and still make the Pro Bowl, plus reach 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. In 2023, he would have 100 receptions for 1,216 yards and 7 touchdowns. This was with Burrow missing 7 games on the year. His stats were down slightly due to this. Overall, Chase has been the best wide receiver in this class. Guys like Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, and Amon-Ra St. Brown have been the closest to Chase in this draft class. What do you guys
Facts.
think? Will any of them end up having a better career than Jamar? Subscribe for more of the best
Honestly,
football
bro,
content on YouTube.
I'm not even gonna lie. Let's see. I think St. Brown might have a better career than Chase. I'm not even gonna hold you now. I would say Smitty, you know what I'm saying, or Jalen Waddle because I'm an Alabama fan. That's biasy, but they are not number 1 receivers on their teams. You know what I'm saying? They're both wide receiver 2s behind Tyreek Hill and AJ Brown. So you know what I'm saying. That's why I said Amon-Ra St. Brown, because he's obviously the true number 1 for the Lions. But I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Y'all let me know what other NFL videos y'all want me to react to. Without further ado, I'm out. Gang.